So I've been using Gladiator at tier 4, and I want to make a showcase video on him, which is what this is going to be. But I first just wanted to cover his build briefly and then talk about what I think is the major problem or sort of like thing you need to master in order to make Gladiator work at pretty much any level. So we'll talk about that because that's like basically the most important thing. So the build here is pretty straightforward. We got 12 Odin's Blessings, rank 5 type enhancement, Power of Angry Hulk stage 12. I don't have the artifact just yet. Tried to pull it from the Black Swan event, but I got Satana twice, which is pretty funny. She's over here with the 5-star, and she's over there with the 4-star. Yeah, no, I didn't pay for those. I got those for free. But then we also have the Mighty Rage with the 180 proc, which is kind of cool. And then we got the Mythic Uniform. Now, here's the thing. Gladiator has a 100% damage proc on his 5th skill. Okay? So the rotation is 1 cancel, 2 cancel, 3 cancel, 5 into 4. But you have to 1 cancel, 2 cancel, 3 cancel, 5 cancel, 4. But you cannot cancel 5 right away. Watch if I cancel 5 right away. I don't get those extra hits. I don't get all the zigzaggy shit happening, right? So you only get 94 hits if you instantly cancel 5. All right? And now you do get the damage proc. The damage proc passes over from 5 to 4, which is what you want. Or you want it to pass over from 5 to 6. Okay? You want to be doing the damage because these skills do the most damage, right? I actually don't think his 6th skill does that much damage when you're using a rage. I think with a damage proc it's different. But anyways, but you can't, if you want to get the most hits, you can't cancel right away, right? So you have to do 1 cancel, 2 cancel, 3 cancel, 5, and then a slight delay. And so that's the slight delay adds a lot of hits as well. You can see, I don't know why he's still attacking. Okay, goofy boy. You have to put in a slight delay. Because you get, instead of getting 94 hits, you get 150. You get a lot more hits, right? It's a lot more hits, right? 150 versus 94. It's like 50% more hits. But you have to put in a slight delay. If you don't put in that slight delay, also, if you delay for too long, here's the other problem. If you delay for too long and the 5th skill hits once, then the damage proc doesn't get passed over. So it's kind of annoying because you can end up seeing a pretty large sort of range in Gladiator's damage. When you hit it properly, the damage is juice. When you don't hit it properly, the damage is not so juice. And I'll show you. We're going to start off on stage 79 of Null, but we're not going to be beating any of the bosses because I didn't know the update was tomorrow. I thought it was tonight. And so I saved all my world boss runs. And so I don't have any of them done yet, and I don't want to waste them by accident on shit like Null. But anyways, that's the proc when you do hit the when you pass the 100% proc. So it works very well, as you can see, right? It works very, very well. But if you don't, it doesn't work so well. It doesn't work so well, and I'll miss it on purpose here so you guys can see the difference. It was like what, 4 bars when we did it. You can see here. See, it goes much slower. It's much less powerful when you let the 5th play out for too long. So you just have to get used to that little amount of time that you pass just that little pause. It's just muscle memory. It's essentially just muscle memory. I do kind of dislike telling people that, you know, because it ends up being a skill issue, genuinely, but it's the truth. You sort of just have to figure it out, and when you do, it pays massive dividends, because I wasn't doing this at first. I was really waiting a while to see the 5th skill, you know, pretty much start to animate. And the damage was like pretty pedestrian. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So he blasted this stage, right? You could see easily just crushing the stage with a rage. Easy. But I hear you. You're like, Alex, stage 79 of Null, that's way too easy. Okay, so what about stage 60 of Gene, which I recently unlocked? Let's go ahead and see how he does here. So remember, it's just a small pause here before you pop off. Okay, nice. 3 bars here. You want to make use of the speed. Now we're gonna go and do this here. We're gonna crank off like 4 or 5 bars, then we're gonna co-op. Very nice. Now there is an ABX rotation that I want to talk about later. It's not exactly the rotation I'm gonna be doing here, because I do believe the 6th skill does more damage, but you have to pass the proc from the 5th skill onto the 6th skill. So if you don't do that, then you're not going to see nearly as much damage. And then, yeah, it's going to hurt the run, obviously. So we're doing pretty good right now. I actually struggled to do this run before, but I think we're on pace right now. We're certainly, yeah. Nice. Very, okay, yeah, we're very on pace now. Okay, we're not going to do the whole fight again, because I didn't do any of my world bosses of the day. Actually, Black Swan is my world boss of the day. But I wanted to show you guys, you know, that he can go really high. But you just have to master that. And there, I think there I missed it. Maybe not. It's tough because she gets a damage reduction, so it's harder to tell. But you'll be able to tell, like, once you play him enough. I was confused at first, and that's why I wanted to make this video with this sort of PSA at the beginning. I was confused at the beginning. I think there I missed it. I was confused at the beginning when I was playing Gladiator, because, like, man, his damage is kind of shit. Like, what's going on? And then I realized, oh, I'm not passing the proc properly. And yeah, it's just kind of cringe on my part. But man, playing him is really fun. He's super fast, right? On his feet, he's super fast. And he hits like a truck, bro. He hits like a truck when you get it right. I think I missed it again, to be honest with you. Okay, yeah, since we passed through to this next phase, I've been kind of shitting the bed here. But he can absolutely do stage 60 with a Mighty Rage. That's very, very hard. For reference, I had to try. I could do it with Thor, but I had to. I had his 4-star artifact, which I don't have an artifact for Gladiator at all, so that's worth something. And Thor, I believe, has 20 Odin's Blessings to Gladiator's 14 or 12. Sorry, I completely missed the proc there. I don't know what the hell happened. That was really weird. Yeah, it's just like super delayed now. Okay, yeah. But I was able to do it with Thor after like 10 tries. It was quite a bit harder with Thor, and he has a better build than my Gladiator. I know Thor's a lot older than Gladiator, and he's also not native tier 2, but yeah. Let's go ahead and pop off here. We're playing it. So the other rotation that I want to show you guys really quick here. I don't think it's a better rotation though. Nah, it's not a better. It's such a not better rotation, bro. For world boss content, it's where you delay cancel the tier 3. I think it's actually just straight up worse. I think I'm actually just proving that it's straight up worse. So yeah, this is the ABX rotation where you delay cancel. You basically just focus on the 4th skill for every proc, and then you just go and yeah, bro, the tier 3 class. Okay, so it's a bit confusing, but we'll exit this out now, and I'll basically explain it. The tier 3 does a lot of damage, but it has fewer hits. Okay, damage is not as important as number of hits for ABX and ABL. All right, I'll explain that just the way it is. That's genuinely just how it is. So if we go into training mode and we cycle back to the combat day, we can use ABX as an example here. It doesn't matter whether it's ABX or ABL, but basically the rotation changes when you're doing ABX and ABL for Gladiator specifically. And I think a lot of people are going to build Gladiator for ABX and ABL. So you know you want to, bro. Where's Valkyrie? You want to master both rotations. They're not too different, but I wanted to highlight the rotation for, you know, World Boss and GBR. So for ABX and ABL, it's a little bit different than the rotation I was showing you for World Boss and for GBR. For World Boss and for GBR, you're doing 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, and you're passing the proc from the 5 either to the 4 or to the 6, and you're letting the 6 play out. But with ABX and ABL, like I mentioned, hits are kind of more important than damage. So what you want to do is you still want to do the rotation the same at the start, and you still want to pass the proc the same at the start. But then your next rotation, even though you can build up the tier 3, it's actually the same. You're going to do the same rotation again, and then once the 4th skill is done, you're going to do the tier 3 until there's 1 second left on the 5, and then you just start the rotation all over again. So you're just getting the first few hits of the tier 3 to sort of build up, but you're not doing the tier 3. So it's a weird rotation. You have to watch Gladiator for when he's done the beam on the 4th skill. It's pretty straightforward once you get into the pattern of it. But this is to maximize the number of hits overall, right? Not to maximize the number of hits per rotation, but to maximize the number of hits overall. Because then you get these hits here, blah, 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 right? And then you go back in and you do this again. So it can be a bit of a weird rotation, but this is actually how it's done. I got interrupted there. So, and I'm not the best ABX player, so you can find players that can get higher scores for sure. But I just wanted to highlight this difference between letting the tier 3 play out, which is maximum damage, versus canceling the tier 3, like playing the tier 3 mid proc, like mid rage proc, only to cover the time between your next rotation of 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. And then for that one, for ABX and ABL, you're always passing the proc onto the 4th skill. But I found through testing that if you're doing that in World Boss and GBR, the damage is actually worse. And damage is obviously king for those 2 game modes. And so it's more important to basically master both rotations. So this is the Gladiator PvE review. I think he's fantastic for PvE. I think he works well with a proc, an energy, a mighty destruction, or obviously a rage. Rage is ideal because it allows you to flexibly play him in ABX and ABL. It just has a higher skill cap because you have to learn an alternate rotation specifically for ABX and ABL. However, I still think he's absolutely fantastic. And one of the best, tier 4s we've gotten in quite a while. That being said, I don't have GBR content to show you guys. I do apologize. This wasn't the most well-planned video. Last night I thought was going to be the update, so that's why I played him in GBR. I saved my world boss runs, etc. But the update's actually tonight. It's actually going to be, like 10, 11 hours after this video goes live. It's a day later than usual, which is unusual. They don't, normally they don't do this. They have done it a couple of times in the past. They're probably doing it to better line up the anniversary update, right? So, take that with a grain of salt. I guess they're sort of planning things out carefully, which is good, which is nice. It just sort of throws certain people out of whack, like your boy, who's used to a particular pattern for the game. Anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Gladiator. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.